when it comes to Ten Hag ball, are we seeing it develop more and more as the season progresses off the back of a great performance against Tottenham, let's not forget?
Yeah, well, I think there's certainly some progress for Manchester United, yeah. You know, when you look back to, for example, that performance very early on in the season at Brentford, where they were really poor, I think off the back of that, they decided to play out from the back less. But ultimately, I think with Ten Hag, that is the ambition, to play the total football, as it were, which is renowned in Holland. And in all honesty, I think if they do want to play total football and out from the back, then you know, one person that you have to seriously look at, and I think he's been a great servant for the club, is De Gea, the keeper, because he's not particularly comfy or comfy enough in possession, I don't think, to play out from the back the amount that Ten Hag would like to.
Is that something you try to coach, Mike? Because that's one accusation that's been thrown at De Gea, I think,
you're going to try and coach De Gea now with the situation
you can't change it. He's been a brilliant goalkeeper, hasn't he? But I think the game has changed, hasn't it?
The game has changed. And I think what Ten Hag will do is encourage all players to play. That's in his psyche. You know, you're not going to change the manager from that point of view. So he's going to encourage all the time. And with David, it will work sometimes and sometimes it won't. I think that's just the way it runs with David at the moment. But, you know, he goes long sometimes, but when the keeper's got the ball at his feet, it's his decision. It's nobody else's decision. It's what he wants to do with it. If he's comfortable at playing out and there's an obvious pass, I think he will try and play it. But if it's also comfortable for him to go a little bit longer, he'll do that. So coaching him, no chance right now, you know. I mean, he is what he is, David. And to be honest, he's proved his point as you know, a shot stopper and a very good goalkeeper. But going forward, yeah, it's probably the next phase that they're probably looking at. But I didn't particularly see them go too long all the time. You know, they're not a long ball team. But certainly, you have to mix the game up sometimes when one thing's not working. You know? And that's
City showed that because Alisson registered an assist. Sorry, not Alisson. That was a couple of weeks ago. Edison registered an assist today for Erling Haaland. Just route one, effectively, straight to the.
I don't think Pep complained about that one.
No.
But that's a long ball, and Alisson was a long ball as well. Yeah. For me, I think it's true what you mentioned, David De Gea. That's why Luis Enrique doesn't really start him, because of he's not the best with the ball. But it's true that a goalkeeper should stop the goals. And it's true that is the modern thing, I understand, but go outside, try to get a goalkeeper that plays the ball, come for Manchester United, play for Manchester United with the pressure that is. Remember, because when De Gea arrived to the club, he was very poor at the start. People was criticizing him a lot. Exactly, you were there, so he knows more than me, obviously. But he was very poor. And you see him playing in Spain before, and he was magnificent. So then you sign a keeper. Yeah, okay, you go with the ball. And as soon as you miss maybe two, the fans go at you. You play for a big team. It's not easy when you have a goalkeeper that is already established himself. He's a good goalkeeper. I think I really like De Gea. He's a good shot stopper, but it's true that with the ball, they want something like Alisson or Ederson. I could understand that, but it's not going to be easy for them to find anyone like this.
What do the Spanish press and fans make of De Gea? I can't read Spanish, obviously. I can't read the papers and what they're saying, but...
They talk more about the wife, really.
Oh, really? Okay. I had no idea about that, honestly.
She's really famous there as well. No, but he's a good goalkeeper and people love him. But Luis Enrique is true that he has, because Spain is, since you are born, even the goalkeepers, you have options. Look at Kepa, for example, you have options to choose other goalkeepers that they play better with the ball. And they are shot stopper as well. So I'm not saying that United, maybe with Ten Hag, will not go for a goalkeeper, but maybe you need to sort out other positions when he's actually... I like him as a goalkeeper.
But his contract is up at the end of the season. There's the option to extend. I'm just thinking, this time next year, we're going to be talking about De Gea at Manchester United, or we're going to be talking about another goalkeeper. Because it seems progressive managers, you look at Pep Guardiola when he arrived at Manchester City, what's one of the first things he did? He got rid of Joe Hart, Claudio Bravo, who himself proved not to be good enough. So what did he do? He went out again, and then he bought Edison. That seemed to be the missing piece, because that's when the trophies started coming for Guardiola at City.
Yeah, it's true. It makes a difference. A goalkeeper sometimes is not... The other day, Courtois in the Ballon d'Or, he actually mentioned that sometimes you don't give the credit to a goalkeeper that they deserve. And more in the current football at the moment, they like to play from the back. And it's like having another player, really, because when the team are pressing you, and more how the Premier League is right now, the teams are really pressing you, you have an extra player. That's true. But if you asking me if I will renew the contract that they have the option Manchester United on De Gea, I think I will. And then if they want to go in the market and get someone else, well, you still have De Gea for another year, and you have 2 great goalkeepers. And you have the other one as well, time to settle. Not coming into a team like Manchester United, so big, play straight away, and if it doesn't work for you, look, Kepa didn't work for him at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And they spent 80 million. So it's not easy to play for a big club.
What about the Gea situation? Because, well,
it's a situation that happens all the time. You know, players' contracts run the course and what have you. And I think right now, I don't think it's something that they're going to worry about. You know, it will find a way, and performances will earn you a new contract. Yeah. You know, I'm sure they're not going to give a player away just because, you know, they want to. It's got to be right for the club. It's got to be right for the player. But if he's performing, then he's there. You know, but Man United, Chelsea, all these top clubs, they're looking for players all the time. It's not just, you know, one player here and one player there. They're on the radar all the time, and it just depends on what fits into the jigsaw puzzle at that moment in time.
But does he fit into...
Well, they have the option on De Gea, you know, so I'm sure they will exercise the option. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because otherwise they lose him potentially on a free.
Yeah, so I would think in Manchester United's case, they do have a lot of these contract options, and they more or less take them all the time. Yeah. You know, whether that suits the player or not is a different matter, but having him there is better than not having him there if you haven't got a goalkeeper to replace him. Yeah. And I'm not saying that underneath David De Gea there isn't goalkeepers, there are. You know, they're willing, they're available, but they haven't reached the heights of what De Gea's reached.
Well, they've got one out on loan at Forest at the moment, haven't they?
Yeah.
He might have burnt his bridges with some of his comments he made earlier this season, but I think for his sake, he's probably hoping not. Yeah. With Dean Henderson, you're never quite certain because he's a very open and honest individual. Very. To the media.
He's out to prove a point, which is good. It's exactly why he's out on loan. That's the reason why they've done it. So he's okay, he's been out on loan before, but each time he's gone out on loan, he's performed. The decision-making people now at Manchester United have to decide whether that's good enough to bring back to play, or good enough, not good enough, or good enough even to sell in order to replace with another goalkeeper. So they're all massive decisions, but right now, why would they make? They don't need to make that decision. You know, David De Gea's in the box seat. He's got to earn the right for a new contract, but they've got an option on him anyway.
Yeah. Exactly, that's the most important. At the end, it's not that you negotiate in the contract with a player that is finishing his contract. Manchester United have the power, because if they want to make it obviously do the option, they can do. You know, so it doesn't even depend on the player. You know, so that's why they're not gonna be worried. And I really agree that they're gonna do it, even if they want to bring another goalkeeper.
I believe there's about 12 players out of contract.
Wow.
At the end of the season, including De Gea. So Ten Hag said earlier this week, I think it was after the Tottenham game, I might be wrong, but he did come out and say that they don't want it to be a distraction. He doesn't want to think about negotiating contracts and deals and options and all that. He thinks it'll be a distraction to the football.
Yeah, he's probably right. I mean, from his position, he wants every player to prove that they're capable of another contract, and he's not going to go off past reputation. It's the here and now. He's the manager, and he wants them to earn that, you know. And it doesn't matter who you are, earn it, you get it, you will get it. It's impossible not to get it if you play and you play well enough. Yeah. The greatest option the manager's got is the fact that if they don't, they're on the end of the deals. So you can start then to manipulate that situation.
Yeah. And where do you go from Manchester United, really?
Yeah.
You know,
it's
a big club. It's a huge club. And they're striving to get back to the levels of success that they've had in the past.
Would a team in Spain take him? Would a team in Spain take De Gea, you think?
So the problem is the salary. He earns a lot in the Premier League. The La Liga, they cannot match that. You know, they say maybe that Oblak was going the way of Manchester United, so maybe that could be a possibility for Atletico Madrid.
His former club.
Yeah, exactly. They make a big money in Oblak and they get De Gea. That could be a possibility. Barcelona, obviously, they want to play from the back, so obviously no fit. And Real Madrid, they have Courtois, so the only option I could see that they could pay maybe not what he earns in Manchester United, but close to it. It could be Atletico Madrid if they sell Oblak.